Welcome to another exciting episode of Energy and You. It's a weekly highlight of activities in the Nigerian energy sector that focuses on the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited. I'm Egusa Igumbo. Tonight, Senate applauds NNPC Limited for transparency on financial operations of the federal government's road infrastructure tax credit scheme and the $3.3 billion Afrexim Bank loan facility. Also on the lineup, the Business Services Directorate of the National Oil Company re-strategizes towards business profitability and operational excellence, whilst nurturing an ecosystem conducive to sustainable business growth. We'll also bring you highlights from the just concluded Sub-Saharan Africa International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference, as well as the much-awaited 2024 NNPC Limited Sports Fiesta. Please stay with us for all the details shortly. We start off the program with an update on international oil price and other global energy news this week. Dangote Refinery, the world's single-train refinery, has made an essential move by issuing tenders to sell its first 2 fuel cargoes for exports. The development is an essential step for the newly launched refinery, which has generated a buzz in the industry. The refiner began buying crude in December last year, and Nigeria's state-owned oil firm NNPC Limited has been the main supplier. Dangote has also purchased some U.S. oil and is expected to receive 2 million barrels of U.S. WTI Midland in early March. That's according to LSEG and Kepler ship tracking. Oil prices fell as investor attention returned to the demand outlook after reports of higher producer prices in the U.S. The world's biggest oil user stoked worries that sticky inflation and high interest rates would limit fuel consumption growth. Brent crude futures were down 61 cents at $82.86 a barrel. U.S. producer prices increased more than expected in January amid strong gains in the cost of services, which could amplify inflation. Analysts say the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, will be able to cover most levels of disruptions as its spare capacity is at an 8-year high of 6.4 million barrels of oil per day.
We are the largest single asset holder in Africa's oil and gas industry and poised to be the dynamic global energy company of choice. We are constantly innovating to be the prime company for energy sufficiency. We are NNPC Limited, energy for today, energy for tomorrow.
An interactive session recently took place between NNPC Limited and the Senate Committee on Finance. Reasons were to discuss and analyze the funding performance of the road infrastructure tax credit scheme being undertaken by NNPC Limited. There were also discussions on the $3.3 billion loan facility from Afrexim Bank secured for the Central Bank of Nigeria to support the country in managing forex volatility. NNPC Limited was represented by its Chief Financial Officer, Umar Ajia. Take a look.
The appearance of the NNPC Limited before the Senate Committee on Finance on the performance of its interventions in road projects around the country under the federal government's road infrastructure tax credit scheme and Afrexim Bank loan is in line with its culture of transparency, financial integrity and accountability. Mr. Umar Ajia, the Chief Finance Officer of the National Oil Company, represented the Group CEO, Mr. Amili Kyari, before the Senator Mohammed Sani Musa-led Finance Committee. Mr. Ajia informed the committee members that NNPC Limited has followed the approved modalities set by the Federal Executive Council to implement the project of the roadworks with a sense of equity, fairness and priority. He gave a brief on the nature of the road project, totaling 2.59 trillion naira and spanning 6,359 kilometers across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
This estimation of our tax commitment was
the basis of our 3-year projected tax capacity. In other words, our CIT projected obligations on 2021, 2022, and 2023 for Scheme 1. And then subsequently for Scheme 2, we had committed to do 1.9 trillion, under which we have so far released or paid contractors 450 billion naira.
The CFO has said there is too much of rumors, there's too much. Social media have been washed with non-facts. So today we have gotten the facts and we believe that we are on the right direction.
Mr. Umar Ajia further described the Afrexim Bank loan facility as a pre-export financing, which means essentially a forward sale on crude oil over the next 5 years. With the explanations given by the Chief Finance Officer, committee members applauded NNPC Limited's financial transparency and its unwavering commitment in fixing dilapidated roads across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. They expressed satisfaction with the value of projects on ground that has been expended so far, amounting to 664 billion naira.
I know even last year we commissioned several roads. I went and witnessed the commission of this road. A road that is currently being undertaken by Federal Ministry of Works under budgeting may take close to about 25 years before completion. So if NNPC tax credit can complete the road in 5 years, I think it's very good. And I support it, and I urge all my colleagues to do the same.
Like distinguished Senator Alero said, this concept was well planned. I was part of it. I was chairman of Northern Governors Forum. And the purpose, like he mentioned, was to alleviate some of these sufferings by a ministry or delay by Ministry of Works. The scheme started very well.
Senators described the intervention of NNPC Limited in the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme as a panacea to bolster road networks in the country. They urged the company to remain steadfast in delivering value to the country through the scheme. He also answered questions regarding the $3.3 billion Afrexim loan facility secured for the Central Bank of Nigeria to stabilize the value of the naira.
The purpose of that borrowing was to really support Central Bank to up its FX reserves and or intervene in the FX market as and when necessary.
The Executive Vice President, Business Services, NNPC Limited, Mr. Danladi Inuwa, has tasked business leaders under the Directorate on Operational Excellence and Profit Maximization. This was the crux of the 2-day business retreat organized recently by the Directorate in Abuja.
Addressing participants at the retreat, which were drawn from the 13 business units of the Directorate, the EVP called for unity of purpose and strict adherence to company policy and urged business leaders and staff to embrace current dynamics in the discharge of their services. The theme of the retreat was 2024 Business Services Directorate Visioning Retreat, providing the pillars of growth. The EVP encouraged business leaders to steadfastly pave the way for dual career growth, ensure equal opportunities for all staff, and maintain strict compliance with regulatory requirements to enhance the efficiency of the Directorate.
We must pay attention to compliance, regulatory compliance. The Chief Compliance Officer with his team are updating the rule book for security, for HSC, and for all other businesses, but I am particular about security and HSC because he told me that categorically. Every regulation that we are supposed to abide by, we must abide by it. Otherwise, it could erode our values.
During the retreat, various business leaders made presentations to outline their various objectives. In his presentation, the Chief Corporate Communication Officer, Mr. Olufemi Shoneye, emphasized the strategic blueprint of the division for 2024, which is focused on a clear and compelling brand management to bolster the company's corporate reputation. He reiterated the division's unwavering commitment to proactively engage stakeholders through effective strategic communications and people management via internal and external media.
We want to assure you that with the support we will get from everyone here, absolutely with my team, I think they've been very supportive, and I can tell you that we will get the job done. On our own path, we will get the job done. As we strive to get the job done, we also seek for your support and your partnership in ensuring that we succeed and achieve our goals.
On his part, Mr. Chinedu Igwe, head sustainability, stressed the importance of upholding high environmental, social and governance (ESG) standards to achieve a targeted 8 to 10% return on invested capital (ROIC). He emphasized the integration of sustainability principles into strategic decision-making, given national commitments to reduce methane emissions and the evolving energy industry landscape.
It's a brand new day. Get up, face it all. With endless possibilities, go on, take it all. The world is at your feet, nothing can stop you. Yeah. No shaking, no fear, cause you've got energy for today, energy for tomorrow. Bigger than yesterday. You're so much better, so much stronger. It's the dawn of a new day, so come on, let's go. Let's go. It's a brand new day, so come on, let's go.
Up next is a look at a recent success story in the fight against crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism by NNPC Limited.
The crackdown on oil theft is on, and the industry-wide security collaboration continues to yield positive results. Between the 10th to the 16th of February 2024, 223 incidences were recorded by several sources: Malton Engineering Nigeria Limited, Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, NNPC Command and Control Center, Shell Petroleum Development Company, Tanteta Security Services, and government security agencies. In Okreka River State, an oil pit feeding directly from an oil source was discovered. Here, we see several pipelines conveying crude into this pit. 20 illegal connections were discovered across several locations in River State, Bayelsa, and Delta states. A cluster of illegal refineries was discovered in various locations across River State, in Okoloma, Omoko, Nanibe, and Andoni. More were discovered in Delta State, Bayelsa, and Abia. In the past week, 82 illegal refineries were discovered and destroyed. Several illegal storage sites were discovered across the Niger Delta. In River State, sacks of crude oil and pits were discovered. In Warri, cans containing stolen crude. An oil pit in Edo State, and more sacks of stolen crude in Oloibiri, Bayelsa State. Vandalized wellheads and pipelines were spotted in Rivers and Bayelsa State, while 13 vehicle arrests were made in Ole, Ugeli, and Warri in Delta State, while 83 wooden and fiber boats conveying stolen crude were arrested in Tombo, Bukuma, Omadino, Nanibe, and Ataba in River State. 8 of these incidents took place in the deep blue water, 32 in the western region, 123 in the central region, and 60 in the eastern part of the Niger Delta, while 52 suspects were arrested in the past week. For NNPC Limited, there is no backing down on the war on crude oil theft until the menace is eradicated for good. To report crude oil theft or suspicious activities within your area, call the numbers on your screen now, or send an email to report@stopcrudetheft.com. Handsome rewards await the whistleblower. Do your part. Report oil theft today.
Coming up, we have the exciting opening ceremony of the NNPC Limited's 2024 Sports Fiesta and highlights of the just concluded 2024 Sub-Saharan Africa International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference. Stay with us.
You can see everybody is very happy and looking at each other and remembering when they came in, the last time they saw each other, and so on and so forth. Well, I'm expecting that we would have people that would do very, very well because we are competing in the no gig. So we have that at the back of our mind. We are going to come out with our best because we are going to compete with the rest of the oil industry.
Energy for today, energy for tomorrow.
You're watching Energy and You. Let's go over to Lagos State, where the 8th edition of the Sub-Saharan Africa International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference, SIPEC, was recently held. The event attracted national and international oil companies, technology providers, amongst other notable industry players and professionals.
The 8th edition of the Sub-Saharan Africa International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference, SIPEC, recently held in Lagos. The annual event attracted NOCs, IOCs, EPC contractors, service companies, technology providers and other professionals within the oil and gas value chain for engaging and progressive discussions, business transactions and cross-border collaboration. NNPC Limited took center stage showcasing its commitment to a robust and inclusive energy industry. Hosted by the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETAN, in strategic partnership with NNPC Limited, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, and the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, SIPEC places emphasis on the future of the energy, oil and gas industry through sub-Saharan Africa, with collaboration at the forefront of its objectives and local content at its nucleus.
It is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to Lagos, the commercial headquarters of Nigeria. As we gather here today, we come together with a shared purpose to chart a course for the sustainable development and prosperity of Africa's oil and gas sector in the face of rapidly evolving global energy dynamics.
As usual, the NNPC Pavilion was a beehive of activities featuring holographic presentations on investment opportunities and local content policies. It also served as a hub for industry stakeholders who acknowledged NNPC Limited's strategic role at the event.
NNPC, really like a number of other national oil companies in the APO member countries, have been playing a big role really in bringing about cooperation and collaboration amongst NOCs. I recall NNPC hosted the second meeting of the Chief Executive Officers of NOCs of APO member countries in Abuja in 2022. And even last year when we had a meeting, the Chief Executive Officer of the group CEO made it very clear that NNPC was ready to host the next meeting.
NNPC are all out front leaders in African content. Before it became a buzzword, I think NNPC has always recognized that nationalization of the knowledge and the skill and indeed the business of the industry is important. And I've seen a deliberate policy push in that direction. That's, I think, culminated in the formation of the NCDMB we have today, which was a branch of the NNPC. So they are quite critical, and I think they play a leading role in ensuring that that happens.
NNPC is coming as an enabler to support local content, enabler to support Africans, enablers to support Nigerians, project us out and let us know that there's something that we have in here that we need to work together to harness. And that support also has geared towards, I remember my company when we started, it was difficult getting into the major oil companies. But NNPC came in with support of NCDMB, and then empower the locals. If not for people like you, then we are just doing the office cleaning jobs. But today we are playing the bigger pictures.
With NNPC being a strategic partner, I think it drives the message home. We can give that support which they all need, and more so as we get to the place where the developed world is pushing for renewable energy and an end to fossil fuels. All of us have an interest in ensuring that we are able to capitalize on the revenue and the value in our fossil fuels. And if we don't work together as a unit, speaking with one voice, it will be difficult. So with NNPC spearheading that, I think this is probably the most fantastic thing that could happen for SIPEC.
NNPC Limited's active participation at SIPEC 2024 emphasizes its commitment to advancing Nigeria's energy sector and fostering growth throughout the African continent. The company's team was led by Mrs. Oluwakemi Olumuyiwa, Head Relationship and Stakeholder Management.
Now, the much anticipated 13th NNPC Limited Sports Fiesta is here. It's a celebration of sporting excellence. It features 13 games including football, basketball, volleyball, chess, golf, tennis, table tennis, squash, Scrabble, 8-ball pool, badminton, and athletics. This year's Fiesta is themed Healthy Workforce, Productive Organization. This is to reflect the belief of the National Oil Company in the integral role of physical well-being towards enhancing organizational productivity among its employees. Here's a glimpse of the opening ceremony that took place on Sunday, 18th February 2024.
Drawn from the 6 NNPC Limited zones are 3 teams representing the company's 3 core values of integrity, excellence, and sustainability. The atmosphere was electric as the participants, filled with excitement and anticipation, marched onto the field accompanied by thunderous applause from the audience. The opening ceremony showcased the spirit of camaraderie and unity that permeates the NNPC Limited. It was a moment to honor the dedication and hard work of staff who have trained tirelessly to compete in this esteemed event. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPC Limited, Mr. Mele Kyari, who was represented by the Managing Director, NNPC Foundation, Mrs. Emanuela Arukwe, in his opening remarks affirmed that the aim of the Sports Fiesta is to promote a healthy workforce and maintain a productive organization, as NNPC Limited recognizes the positive impact it can have on the overall productivity and performance of its employees.
From a global perspective, sports has always been a competitive endeavor. However, coming closer home here at the NNPC Limited, it's beyond just competing for medals, accolades, and laurels. Let me therefore inform all our sporting contingents here that just like in the Olympics, participation is the most important medal, because everyone here is a winner in their own right, irrespective of their final standing on the medals table.
The Chief Human Resources Officer of the NNPC Limited, Mrs. Fatima Yakubu, reinforced the company's commitment to maintaining a productive organization and the importance of work-life balance.
The motivation is the fact that it's a new NNPC. We know that. And we know that this is an opportunity to show the world that it's a new NNPC. Everything is not just the profit, even the people have moved. Things have changed. We are now doing things globally, the best practice. We are doing things the way they should be done, including our sports, including our staff. We're very happy to be doing this.
High point of the event was a novelty table tennis match between the Chief Human Resources Officer, Mrs. Fatima Yakubu, and the Head Human Capital Management Operations and Service Delivery, Mr. Taufik Arowolo. In a closing remark, the Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the NNPC Limited, Mr. Olufemi Shoneye, emphasized that the Sports Fiesta is not only a celebration of sporting excellence, but also an opportunity to foster camaraderie and unity amongst staff as it brings together individuals from different departments and locations, promoting a sense of community within the organization.
Carry the bond, the fellowship, the connections that you forge during this event. Let it bolster teamwork and unity at our workplace. It is very important.
The Sports Fiesta serves as a platform for staff of NNPC Limited to showcase their talent, sportsmanship, and teamwork, thereby fostering a culture of physical well-being and sportsmanship.
It's a brand new day. Get up, face it all. With endless possibilities, go on, take it all. The world is at your feet, nothing can stop you. Yeah. No shaking off, yeah. Cause you've got energy for today, energy for tomorrow. Bigger than yesterday. You're so much better, so much stronger. It's the dawn of a new day. So come on, let's go. It's a brand new day. So come on, let's go.
And that's how we wrap up the show this week. Thank you for watching. Hope you had an engaging time with us today. If you missed any part of it or previous episodes, you can catch up by scanning the QR code on your screen now. Remember to also follow us on all our social media handles shown on your screen to get updates of events in Nigeria's energy sector and other activities of NNPC Limited. Thanks again for being part of the show. I'm Egosa Figombo. See you again.